hate puppies. It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
Welcome to the 13th month.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems, which, of course, we can all get back to because it's 2021.
Totally new year.
We can focus on the easy stuff now. Woo! Thank goodness we made it.
Glad that's behind us.
Didn't
Am I
everything
right?
just go away?
It did. It's all gone. Hey, do you know how many episodes we've done? Do you guys know this answer?
No, I do not. I would say every year I'm confused as to what year we're going into. Are we coming up on 6 full years? Our 6-year anniversary is coming up in April.
Yeah, I mean, the math would add up.
So if we've done, let's say, 50 a year times 6, what's that, 300?
Give or take.
Yeah, that's my guess.
333.
Pretty good, Troy. I was just notified that we just did 300, 301, and this would be like 302 now.
Nice.
So we have just crossed over the 300 mark.
That's crazy, dude.
For whatever that's worth.
Some episodes, some podcasts don't make it to 7.
Most.
Minutes.
Don't make it to 7.
7 minutes.
Yeah, most do not make it to 7. So I was kind of psyched to see that we had over 300 under our belt.
That's awesome, man.
That's a good run.
Especially being that, I mean, almost all of them are an hour and a half.
Not tonight. Have you seen my topic list? This one should be short and sweet.
Well, if I'm doing a rough estimate, that would give me maybe 60
You've been here a year?
plus.
There you go.
Isn't that crazy? Like, how quickly did that go by?
Too quick.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I'm still nervous.
You're going to be right up there with Ely's numbers soon. You'll surpass Ely soon enough. That's how that works.
Hey, Ely, how you doing?
Oh, hey. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do an Ely impersonation.
Dude, last episode was hilarious.
That was.
I was rolling.
I had a lot of people reach out and tell me how funny it was, so I'm glad we helped out over the holidays.
I think it helps when you don't have work. Have you noticed that we're a lot more funny when we don't have to
for
work
sure.
every day?
Definitely.
For sure.
I was just saying today, like all day today, things are ramping up over the last week, and I'm just a little bit more scatterbrained because I'm thinking about work more so than just like
Yeah, it screws you
life.
up. Work really, really hoses things up, man.
Yeah, so we're recording on the first work Monday of the new year tonight. So everybody's just now getting back at it.
Yeah, how was that for y'all?
Yeah. How was your first full week?
Dude. Like, was it tough getting back in the swing today, Troy?
Today wasn't too bad, but my week is. I lucked out. I got to kind of slowly get into it today, mostly at home and emails and phone calls. The week's gonna ramp up. It's gonna get harder as the week goes on. But I was happy. No complaints. Today was a good dip your toe in, not belly flop off the high dive type of day.
I looked at my calendar last night and I was like, oh, I don't have a meeting till 4.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Like,
For you, that's
Jack and
awesome.
Pot. So I just moved in and started dealing with, whatever I'd missed over the last 2 weeks. But I was foggy, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was foggy.
I've kind of been on a 2-month vacation, like November, December for real estate. It slows
Pretty
down.
slow.
It's easy, but then this past week with even Christmas and New Year's Eve, I started getting some calls. Now this week had my first staff meeting this morning, and next thing I know, I was rolling. I got
right
I got
back to
appointments.
it.
Yeah, I'm like, here comes the next 5 months.
I do not doubt you, but people across the street from me moved in New Year's Eve at 4:00.
There you go.
Wow.
I'm like, of all the days.
Well,
Like-
your guys had today off.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
That's what is it? That's a Thursday.
Well, yeah,
4-day
it was
weekend.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
A lot of
4
people
days.
get New Year's Eve off, and
Yeah.
then New Year's Day you get off. So
You got a 4-day weekend. Yeah, the way it fell.
move all that junk in. But what a miserable New Year's.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, grab the champagne. All right.
What are we sitting on?
Oh, I can't find it. We'll
Yeah,
box
just
it packed away in.
drinking it out of the bottle.
the movers are
Happy
late.
New Year.
The movers are late, and you're just sitting there.
You can get Ryan Seacrest with an antenna, though.
There you go.
Oh.
So there you go. Did you guys watch that Rockin' New Year's Eve?
Yeah, we did.
I didn't see it. What was the big complaint about I kept seeing the big complaint about Cyndi Lauper and something at the end of it that just went haywire. Some weird
Oh, she had
presentation.
She sucked.
Well, she did one song with some dude who's like a Broadway star, and he couldn't sing for crap.
Yeah, like he
Oh.
ruined. That's what I
Yeah.
saw, and I was,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this is not good.
Billy
like, how do you butcher
something?
time after time?
Yeah, it's not even. I'm not a singer.
Yeah.
I cannot sing it, but
Okay, but it's not like it's
not a hard
Mariah
song.
Carey.
No, it's not a hard
You
song.
know what I mean? It's time after time. It's like middle of the road notes.
Yeah.
Like and he was crushing it in
He-
in a bad way.
Yeah, I was gonna say he butchered it. Like it was awful.
I did see a glimpse.
Even my kids were like, "Ugh."
That's not good.
Because you brought it up just earlier before we got on the air. Jennifer Lopez doing her song. She was like on top of like the entire Times Square is empty. Her band is in mask, and she's on top of some ladder way up high that makes her look like she's wearing this whole dress. And I was like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
She was-
here?
Yeah,
it-
she
It's
had
like-
a cage over her face.
The whole thing
Yeah,
was
yeah.
straight up like 90s bands. It was like they were like
Yeah.
In Vogue. I'm like, really? Why do we have In Vogue coming out? And then like Cyndi Lauper and like it was a throwback outside of like the occasional like they had your boy Nelly on talking about 90s throwbacks.
That's right.
Well, everything repeats itself every 20 years. In 1999,
No, I just don't think they had a whole lot of money this year
Who
for
knows?
it, and they said, "Who can we get?" And they're like, "Limp Bizkit."
You know who
which
loved
they did
it?
not have.
You know who loved it is probably everybody working that show. Like to
Yeah.
not be in a crowd, like yeah, I'm even saying before COVID, I would assume going down there and working sucked.
I would assume
Yeah.
going to it as a
Fan
guest would
suck.
suck.
Yeah,
Like, why would you want to subject yourself to
Every
a
year-
crowd like that?
every year
and no
matter-
bathrooms.
Yeah, every
they
year, no matter where I am, we talk about how it sounds miserable to go to that event.
I mean, I assume you just pee in bottles, or if
between
you're
your
lucky.
feet.
And
Yeah.
people wear diapers.
Seriously,
Yeah.
where is the fun in this?
What's grosser, peeing on the street or peeing in a diaper?
Peeing in a diaper?
Thank you. Okay,
I think so.
Good,
Yeah,
we're
I
all
would-
on the same page.
Yeah, I would just pee in the street.
But if I remember correctly, it wasn't like that until after 9/11. Like
Well,
the bars and everything were open. You know, it was.
Well, because back in the 80s and 90s, Times Square, I'm not a world traveler. I wasn't up in New York all the time. But everybody said it was a shithole place to go.
Oh, back in the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah, 70s, 80s, it was ridiculously bad. I mean, Times
Yeah.
Square was, peep shows and
Yeah.
hookers. A very different situation. And then they just Disney'd it.
I don't know how my old company Lamar's even hanging in that market because the digital billboards they used to sell. I mean, I remember I sold the black card, $23,000 for 1 month on the digital billboard in Times Square because it got 1 million foot traffic, and the place is a ghost town right now.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, what are they
Yeah.
doing up there?
And especially there, like New York is like the stay-at-home capital. You
But
know
that
what I
being
mean?
said, all billboards are probably taking a hit. Not like the interstates are as busy as they once were either.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't. I would imagine not.
You just
but,
use old numbers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just hey, look.
You know? This gets 5 million people by it a day.
Yeah, who's
really?
going to know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just we don't have the 2020 numbers yet.
I don't know. People might be driving more than flying these days.
Yeah, but that doesn't help the interior roads with billboards.
No. Who knows?
You guys brought up J-Lo. Did you see her makeup-free picture?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was something else.
Sexy.
I am I'm a big makeup-free. Like, I love when women go makeup-free. I'm like, you shouldn't have to wear that crap all the time. Like,
My wife never wears makeup. Like it's a wedding or a funeral.
yeah, my wife, if she's not wearing makeup, I don't notice, which is
Yeah.
a great sign. Like, I don't pick up on it.
Yeah.
And J-Lo, I just assumed was kind of a natural beauty. Boy,
She's not bad looking without the
no, but she
makeup.
just looks like a
She looks
very
like
different
a totally
person.
different person. Yeah.
Don't you have that wah wah?
Probably no.
Nailed it. Production value.
Yeah, no, she just looks totally different. I'm
Yeah.
not saying she looks bad, but I mean, like, you would not recognize her as
Yeah.
J-Lo.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
It's definitely Jenny from the block. Like, that's just old Jenny. Yeah, she looked totally different. It was shocking.
Yeah, my ex was the same way. She never wore any, and like when she did, that's when I noticed. Like she just.
It's better to notice when
Yeah.
they do than when
Yeah.
they don't. I still haven't seen A-Rod without his makeup. I'd like to see that. You know that dude takes longer in the bathroom
yeah.
than she does.
Oh yeah.
Like, 'cause she just does. She's like an eyeliner queen. Like that's
Yeah,
her
she
thing.
just
She
does
gets
the
up
heavy
and
eye makeup.
yeah, she does her eyes. He's got to do it all.
Oh yeah.
You know, he looks like Bill Murray without makeup.
He's probably got to do his makeup.
And he puts on enough makeup. You're like, damn, the dude's chiseled.
Probably got like a barber chair in his.
He's probably doing
bathroom.
his
He gets a
make-
guy like every other day to come over and edge him up.
Yeah.
I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
He's probably doing his and hers.
Yeah, he spends more on stylist and makeup than she does.
You know, I knock him, but now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, if I did have an exorbitant amount of money, I think like getting a shave and a haircut would be on a heavy rotation in my world. Like I could get down with that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I would say once a week.
Yeah, once
a week, you never change. Like you
Yeah.
would look perfect. Like that would probably be my.
Yeah,
angle.
there's nothing like getting a straight razor, you know,
Yeah,
getting it out on your neck, some of your beard.
dude. I am once every 2 months right now. It is horrible. I'm actually going to get one this week, and I'm gonna do the same damn thing. Just shave the hell out of the sides and
Yep.
keep the top growing long. I look horrible.
I haven't had. I've had a straight razor probably 8 to 12 times, and I've never really had a good experience with it. It always hurts. Like
Yeah, but if you get used to it, like where you expect it,
yes,
then it becomes like a thing.
Yeah.
Like, if a place doesn't do a straight razor, then I find a new place.
well, I think
Isn't it?
I think what it is your face has to get used to the razor.
Oh, I'm talking on the back of the neck.
No,
No,
the
not
back
on
of the
the-
neck doesn't bother me.
No,
It's-
not
I'm
on
talking
the
about
face.
getting like
No,
a straight
I hate
razor.
that. It
yeah.
makes me bleed like a sieve.
Yeah,
It's horrible.
I love
Yeah.
that hot towel on the face though.
Yeah, that's not bad
I
afterwards.
just go in for a hot towel and a hair wash if it's the right
Yeah.
hairstylist.
Hell yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I think we've all had that one
yeah.
where you're like,
oh yeah.
oh, this place just does. It costs a little more, but she's smoking hot and she washes your hair.
One of my
Sold.
One of
Done.
good friends hates getting a haircut, and I can't, for the life of me, I've known him my whole life. I'm just like, you don't like when a good-looking girl's run her fingers through your hair? He's like, no, I just want to get in and get out. I'm like,
I got a big burly dude. I don't mind that he doesn't. I don't mind that he doesn't wash my hair. Like, but he does do that straight razor on the back
That's
of the
Yeah.
that's like I've almost fallen asleep a couple times after getting you get your hair cut and then I go let her wash it
oh yeah,
and it's like
I could easily fall
massage,
asleep
yeah.
with a hot towel and
getting
somebody
your hair
washing
shampoo.
my hair. Yeah,
it's the way to go.
It would be nice.
of course I never go to those places anymore. I just on a whim jump in somewhere. And
You
let
don't have a
somebody
lot
butcher-
of loyalty to haircut places.
Not anymore. They're
I've
hard to
noticed.
come by.
Yeah, you just go because you'll come in here and be talking about hair cuttery. You're talking about a sports
Yeah.
clips.
Mm.
Talking about you go to
Great
all kinds of
clips.
different places.
Go to our guy who I like to go to, but I don't like scheduling them.
Yeah,
I just hate scheduling. Like,
It's not-
I'll just look at myself one day getting out of the shower and go, I need a haircut today. And whoever can take me, I'll go.
I'd go tomorrow, but I got to give my dude a chance to sober up. That's what happens, man.
Shaky
He gets-
hands.
He doesn't get shaky hands. He just doesn't show up.
Yeah,
Like,
he no-shows.
He has a Tuesday problem because they're off
Oh.
Sunday and Monday,
Yeah, that's right.
and then so sometimes he won't come in early on a Tuesday. So it's like you have to do it later in the day. But I saw him one day where like obviously he was sitting there and he was like, I'm gonna have a shot. He turned around and had a shot. Gave me one of the best haircuts of his life. I was like, hell yeah, dude. This dude is all right.
So
Actually, he's
going to
been
the same-
sober for 2 months now. I went in there the other
Good
day
for
and I was
him.
Good for
talking
him.
to him, and he was like, yeah, just having a drink a couple months. I was like, why is that? And he's like, I don't know.
He gets on a kick.
Yeah. Well, you do that too.
Yeah, I
You're
haven't done
famous
that
for
in
that.
years.
Recycle the liver.
I haven't done that forever.
I haven't taken
Stu's
a
been
break.
going the same girl for what, 30, 40 years?
I was 14. She was 19, and Lynn's been cutting my hair ever since. And I like it because I can just send her a text message like, when you got the time? What do you got going on? And just go over there. And she's in one of those. She's in that Soul Salon place or whatever.
Oh, she moved?
Yeah, she's not with Roby's Hair anymore. That place went under. But her,
Yeah,
and
he
another,
follows her wherever she goes.
yeah, I think she's had 4 different locations over the years. But
She's hot too. Just putting it out there.
yeah, she's a good looking chick.
So
I
I assumed when he follows her around like a puppy dog that she's not
yeah.
yeah.
she's not unattractive.
No, she's not unattractive. But she's in that place like you walk in and there's nothing but there's like 30 hair studios and they're all like half the size of the man room.
Yeah.
And
So they're big.
Yeah, there's tons of them, and she's just got this little place. Her and this other girl, maybe 12 by 12 room, sliding glass door, and you go in and everybody's that's
That is
Corona.
That's yeah, no doubt.
super spreader.
That is some high end stuff, though.
It is. I mean, and she's booked. I mean, she's had so many referrals. I mean, she
I
doesn't
used
have
to go to her, and then all of a sudden, like, she would be so popular. She'd be like, "I can get you in next week." I was like, "You've lost me."
Too late.
Yep.
Yep.
Like, I will take shaky hands over there.
Yep.
And
That's
I'm
why I kind of know, like,
happy
about every
with it.
month, like about every 3.5 weeks, I'll kind of reach out, and then sometimes she squeezes me in just on a quick text.
Heyo.
Bet she does.
Yeah, that's a little extra.
Yeah, it won't be long before we just program and have like a robot cut her hair. Would be my guess.
That's
I don't know. That could be a minute.
I mean,
a lot of liability there.
now the car can stay in the road.
yeah.
These robots are getting more like
Yeah,
ambidextrous.
well, one
every
ear
day.
gets lopped off, and
What was that cartoon? Saturday morning cartoon?
Jetsons?
Well,
Yeah, I was
the Jetsons
thinking
are
Jetsons.
the I guess it's Bugs Bunny, where the big red monster sits in the chair and he gets all those scissors come out.
oh,
Chop 'em
Marvin the
up.
Martian.
Yeah, there's an episode
you
where it's
go.
like that. He sits him down in the chair and the robots just come out and crush him.
Well, the reason I was thinking about that is I watched that new Boston Dynamics video. Have you seen the latest video they
I
came
saw
out
the
with?
I saw the thumbnail, but I didn't watch it. But
You got to watch
basically,
it. You got to
I hear
watch
they
it.
can dance like nobody's
Dude,
business.
you
It's-
remember just a couple years ago that stupid dog?
You could kick
Could
it.
barely.
Yeah, like
and it
you could
wouldn't
literally
fall over.
push it. That was about as good as it got.
Yeah.
And if you go back 5 years, the damn thing could barely walk around, and you could put like a little tiny 3-inch like
Lip,
thing on the
yeah.
ground, and he'd be like, "Dog, I can't get over there." It's like I've been defeated.
So
and
oh, go ahead.
it just blew my mind how really agile they were not.
Yeah.
And I was always like, we're going to be fine here. Yeah, you can get all the AI you want, but if you can't have it move around, I'm not as worried about it. They released this video. These damn things are dancing in unison, and they're
Yeah.
getting up on one foot while doing the twist and going down
Yeah.
and coming up, and
Holy
they're like
shit.
doing all different stuff. It's
So
insane.
I
how-
watched that
how-
video twice because you know when something moves, like the older robots, when they moved, or you expect something to like go on one leg, you expect it to like move or
Yes.
kind of catch its balance.
It's not even.
It doesn't even look real because it's so smooth. There's no reaction because they're like left or right. It's just
It's smoother
boom,
than
boom.
it's smoother than
There's-
if you or I were doing the twist.
yeah.
So you're
Because
telling
you see
me
us moving and like
Counterweight.
You'll see us counterweighting. They do it so subtly to precision. It's sketchy.
So
dude.
you're saying none of our kids will know how to do the robot dance?
No, not anymore.
There will be no.
no, the robot is
dead.
Yeah, it is. We are way beyond that now because this dude is breakdancing. Like
Yeah.
it's insane. And then they even had the stupid dog come out. Now the dog has like a mouth on it.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
They can bite.
It can bite. It's supposed to. It's an
just-
articulating arm
yeah,
to
it's the
pick
hand.
things up. But even that thing was like
That's not
hollering.
sketchy looking.
And then they had
Jesus.
something that came out looked like a, I don't know,
What was
two-wheel
that thing?
velociraptor, whatever.
Yeah. It's just steady moonwalking the whole time because that's all it can do. Like it's crazy. But
What are we
those-
focusing our energy on here?
Well, these things are going to be going to war. I mean,
Dance
this
fighting?
is no,
Dance
because
wars?
Once you get to outfit this thing and it can fire a 50 cal without knocking itself over,
Yeah.
and it can move perfectly fine across a field. That's
Can
it.
Bust the move across the field.
I mean, this is the Clone Wars is not all that far off.
Yeah.
Is basically what I'm saying.
First, it's going to replace the guy that takes the metal sheet from part A to part B and it stamps it. And the robot's going to go in there.
Well, I think first it's
Take
going to
jobs
replace
out.
the guy who cuts the red wire or the green wire.
Yeah.
Well, true.
That's going to be the first thing they do. They're going to send that dummy in, and it's going to look at it, and it's going to AI every scenario, and it's
Yeah.
going to do it properly. And if it blows up, you're going to be like, sweet, we don't have to rehab him.
I know those bomb guys always got me. It's like you wear all that gear and then your hands are exposed. So
Yeah, you're basically sacrificing the hands
Yeah,
because you need
like-
to have the
I'd like
dexterity.
I'd like to live with my hands.
now you can just send the robot in.
Yeah.
If it blows up, you can be like, damn.
So,
Get another robot.
unfortunately, Ely's not here, but the three robots that are in this video, that's a 3-minute dance off, basically. The two humanoids, their names are Atlas.
Yeah.
The dog is Spot, and that thing that came in, they just called it the handle.
I don't know what that thing is. It was
It
the
was-
creepiest one. But those two robots, man, they are in
I'll
unison.
have to check that thing out.
They are doing moves that they just should not be able to do. They've gotten
They're jumping.
so good.
Like jump moves.
Yeah, splits, coming on one leg, twisting, getting bending down, coming up. I mean, and all like directly perfect to the music. Now I understand that's a program.
Yeah.
Do this at that point, like you
Right,
just
right.
program it to
But
do it.
still,
But it looks awesome.
But then once they've programmed it and done it, is the AI's probably learned that now, and it's. In
I don't
there,
even
and they
know
have
that
to
the
do it
AI is
again.
in there yet. I don't think they have merged the two just yet. When that happens, it's over.
Skynet's not quite there.
Yeah, all hail our new robot overlords as soon as that happens. Like it's over.
I mean,
Because
from a a robotic standpoint, it's a major breakthrough. I mean, this is awesome shit,
it's awesome. It's just a problem.
but it's scary.
It's the beginning of the end. Because
Yeah.
once you get that AI in there, and then it starts learning. I mean, how can we think that it's not going to end poorly?
I don't know.
I don't know why we're forcing it.
I don't either. Probably just because we're like, Surrey's so stupid.
I feel like the past 10 to 15 years, every smart person's been like,
Don't.
do AI. Don't let AI
Yeah.
get ahead of us. And then the other side of the smart coin is like, more AI, please.
Well, because the truth is that like the countries that aren't in power right now,
Yeah.
They
There's a
know
direct
that
correlation.
if they can get AI first, they will win. Like, it's not military might anymore.
Well, I
It's
mean,
intelligence.
every successful country is driven by technology on some level.
But if Korea masters AI, right?
Yeah.
They've got it under control. They win
Yeah.
because then their AI can defeat our AI because we're not as advanced. They can make all the decisions. They can hack into everything. They can shut us down. Boom. It's over.
Yeah. We still have Will Smith, though.
For now. But even I'm questioning his genes because I saw Jaden. He doesn't look good.
Nah, yeah.
So Boston Dynamics is actually used to be part of SoftBank Group, but
Yeah,
Hyundai,
guess who
Hyundai Motor Group just took over them.
Yeah,
So
you know who
we're
else
sharing
has a
stakes.
huge stake in them? Alphabet Corp. Google.
Google. Yeah.
It's Hyundai,
Hyundai.
Korean,
Cor-
and Google.
Go figure.
Here we go.
That's supposed to be monopolies, but it does seem like a lot of these large companies are owned by other large companies.
Yeah, the monopolies are here. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting because if this was 5 years ago, the damn
Yeah.
thing couldn't crawl.
Couldn't get out of its own way.
You could probably push it over.
Are they
now,
are all these corded?
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
No. They
Because
just
5 years ago they were corded. Like everything was like,
no. These don't have cords.
And it's not hydraulics. It's servos and electric motors and gyroscopes. Because
So there's not even a weak point, like a big weak point. Because hydraulic, you just hit the pressurized area.
yeah,
yeah,
because
you cut the cord, you cut the hose, and it's
Yeah.
yeah.
No, this is just little electric motors. So if
So-
one goes out, then you can compensate. It's going to be hard to defeat them.
So
now, I've been
guess-
working out. I got a Bowflex. So I'm getting closer to
Yeah.
defeating
I
them.
guess I'm going to invest in one of those EMP guns.
You know, that's actually not a horrible idea because it shuts down all electronics. It's why I'm a little upset that I don't have any cars that are carbureted because if the shit really hits the fan,
Yep.
yeah.
you need a carbureted car.
Hey, Ely.
Yeah, exactly. That's a whole nother. Because I was talking to someone about my old 4Runner the other day, and they were like, "It's fuel injected?" I was like, "First year of it." They're like, "Too bad." I was like, "What do you mean, too bad? Like that's awesome. It's so much more reliable." And they were like, "That car's built for the apocalypse, except for that shitty fuel injection on there." I was like, "Ow, it's a good call." Hadn't really thought about that.
Yep.
Well, it's like somebody was saying during the whole COVID shutdown thing. Like if everybody had the smart cars, big government could shut down the cars.
Yeah, you've seen this where like a
Oh, yeah.
hurricane comes through, and then like everyone's trying to like get out of Florida, and then Elon Musk is like, "All right, you all have another 100-mile range," and everyone's like, "Well, how's that possible? I thought it was a battery limitation." Maybe not. Like, it's literally just software.
Oh, I had never heard that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were all
wow.
leaving like in advance of the last big hurricane. He sent an over-the-air thing, and when everyone woke up, their range went from 250 to 350
Holy shit!
Yeah.
overnight.
I
He
don't
just-
remember even hearing about this.
Yeah, he did it. It was crazy.
Wow.
And he was like, "That's just so everyone can get out of town, and then I'll throttle it back."
that.
You know, after it
if I was a
passes.
Tesla owner,
Yeah.
that would piss me off.
Well,
It's
they're doing that
crazy.
just to stay on par with. They don't want to they're not trying to piss off all the motor companies because the average car goes about 400 miles on a tank.
I think they also want to have the ability to show that the next one has a significant upgrade.
True.
And if you can throttle it back over the air without replacing the batteries, then when you do get better batteries, you can really, take a step up. It's crazy. He can unlock anything over the air. He can make your car faster, like do all kinds of stuff. Which is scary to your point.
Yeah.
Someone can shut you down just as easily as he can pump you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw I literally saw the brand new the Audi Q7, the third row SUV, and that thing, there's so much electronics. The two screens, everything. That was my first time kind of being in a car like that. I've sat in a Tesla but never driven one. But I was like, there's so much relying on the drove, yeah. Drove
them from the land.
Yeah, keep it between the ditches. There's so much shit going on in those cars that's relying on the technology. It's scary. Like, what happens when it glitches and just?
That's what I keep waiting for is the glitch. Like my Infiniti did.
Yeah.
It developed a little glitch and it fried everything in there because the computer went haywire. It ended up
Your wife's old car had a gremlin in it too, didn't it?
That one was still not identified to this day. It just started. Like one day she's like, "Hey, I can't get it to move," and I was like, "Well, where are you? What's going on?" She's like, "I don't know. I stopped at a light." And then I started going, and I hear the engine revving up, and I feel it pulling, but it won't go. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, can you put it in neutral? And, she was able to get it in neutral. I had to push her to the side of the road because she had created a massive traffic jam, which was brutal for me to try to get. I got down there, and then I had to turn around, and, I'm coming through. Like, I'm the guy. I'm the help. They're like, fuck you, I'm late. I'm like, I'm trying to help. But, pushed her out of the way, and finally we got it to be able to go 5 miles an hour, but it was you could feel it just pulling against itself. Got it down the road, and they went through it,
and it wasn't mechanical.
No, it was an electrical problem. That was telling the car that it had a traction control issue.
Yep.
And it needed to keep the brakes locked and not let it go. And so we were pushing through that, but it kept thinking it was spinning its wheels.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. Then it's
and that car wasn't some crazy technological advanced
no.
Yeah.
But then it would do weird things, if you would turn on the air conditioning and the heated seats and the stereo all at the same time, then it would start overheating.
Wow.
Which has nothing to do, but the electronics inside were we have a problem, and would start shutting. So you'd have to turn off one of those things, and if you did, then it would calm back down, which has nothing to do. So again, we went in, and they're like, yeah, some kind of electrical problem, and then little electrical things just kept coming up. They could never find what it was, but it was in the computer. It was some flaw, some bug. And it just kept wreaking havoc on various components, telling it that other things were happening that weren't.
And sometimes you can replace the whole board and still not find the problem.
You got your own little Tron going on in there.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
That's why you got rid of it.
I've had that happen. The Miata, some dude put a little computer in it because it's got the superchargers. They had to put a computer in it to regulate everything. That thing went haywire one day, and the car never ran again. It turned out that it was one little prong.
Yeah, one little prong behind the seat or something, right?
Yeah.
I love the fact that my so I got a 2014 Impala. I didn't realize this, but my Bluetooth speaker, it's one little. There's one speaker for the Bluetooth when you're going through, or it comes out of one corner of the car.
Because it's for a phone,
right? For your phone. So when I was using my Bluetooth and I put my blinker on, and the blinker didn't make any sound, is because when you're not using the Bluetooth,
it's going through that speaker.
It's going through that speaker, and what's crazy is they're only making the sound so that you feel comfortable with it. Because back in the old day.
Yeah.
Because that was the actual, when the bulb came on and came off, that was it, the clicking noise you heard. So this recreated it, even though you don't even need it.
The newer BMWs actually put engine noise into the cabin.
Just so?
Through the stereo. It's not actually, because they went down to a 4, and it used to sound throatier. So they were like, well, guys aren't going to like this. So they were like, we've got it. And now it just plays exhaust notes.
Well, isn't that they're having some issues with the electric cars not making any sounds, pedestrians not hearing them?
That they wanted to actually make a sound
Yeah.
outside. So it's supposed to do make a high pitched sound or something. That's going to be interesting.
annoying.
Yeah.
But
Elon Musk
everybody's on them. Like,
Elon Musk has been joking around. He's like, fine, all right, if that's what we have to do, then they'll all play ice cream truck music.
oh God.
And everyone's like, that's not what we mean. He's
Yeah.
like, you said it has to make noise. I'll make it make whatever noise
Yeah.
I want then. Which
Well,
we
I
shouldn't make
guess-
fun of him because he's the guy who's been saying that AI is bad and go away
Yeah,
from
yeah,
AI
yeah.
and stay away. And he's like, well, if no one's going to heed my advice, then at least I should be in charge because
Yeah.
I'm a nice guy.
Right.
You liar. This is how Lex Luthor started, man. Don't trust
I
him
like
at
the
all.
idea of electric cars not making noise.
Yeah, keep
We just
everything
need to
quiet.
adapt.
Yeah.
That's true.
Look both ways.
I'm not going to look. Don't
tell you what.
dare tell me to look both ways.
Don't you tell me how to live my life.
Yeah.
I don't have to look anyways.
That's
Right,
right. What?
freedom.
If all cars were quiet, I got a great 3 acres at the corner of 295 in Laburnum that I could sell
Oh yeah.
because nobody wants to buy it because of the road noise.
Yep.
That's true. The only thing you would hear is off-road,
Well, I don't know
off-road tires. You'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
so
well-
loud.
Well, no, I think actually now that I think about it, it's not the engine you hear. It's the tires
it's
and the
the
wind
tires,
and
yeah.
road noise. So maybe I'm incorrect.
But it's the exhaust.
It's still
You do-
noise. You still
Yes.
hear noise.
Yeah.
Whether it's the engine or the road noise.
I like my cars loud.
My thing is, I wouldn't want to live on a busy road, not because of the noise so much as just the danger of the cars going off the road. I mean, it happened right down the street from here a few years ago.
Yeah.
Guy sitting in his kitchen eating dinner, and another car coming down Robius. Guy had a medical emergency, peeled off the road into that dude's house and killed him.
Oh, yeah. There's over by my parents' house, there's one of these really big curves.
Yep.
It's a 10-mile-an-hour curve.
Mm-hmm.
But the road it's on is 45.
Yeah, so everybody goes into it flying.
And his house was straight, like,
Yeah.
ahead of it. And it only took a couple cars, smashing into his yard, one that actually came all the way to the house, before he put in these giant, like, pylons.
Yeah.
Oh, like a
Like
bollard.
Called
in
ballards,
his,
yeah.
in his actual yard around the curve. And sure enough,
You
you
got-
find
yeah.
cars smashed into him. Wham!
There was this
Lit
house
up.
out where I lived out in Hanover, big sweep and turn out in the country. Same thing, except this dude put like 4-foot boulders, like just around the whole curve. Like
That's basically what this guy has. is
you
stone
go off
ones.
you go off the road, you're hitting a boulder.
Yeah, and that'll slow you down.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Yeah, that's. I mean, there's got to be something against that, but I guess not. It's like it's my
Yeah.
property.
Yeah,
I prefer to have giant stonework,
I would
or at least put
rather than
sculptures
ballards
up.
sticking up.
Yeah, this guy's were stone pillars. It was basically the same concept.
Oh, so it wasn't like the commercial things you see in front of buildings.
No.
A little
No.
3-foot.
No, but you slam into them.
Like
Yeah.
it's like those big concrete flower pots.
Yeah, they stop you. That's for sure. But I've definitely seen cars wrapped up around them.
Yeah.
It's don't buy the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not. I mean, I used to live on a blind curb, and I would see those cars come flying around. I was like, yeah, I don't know.
there was a
about that.
house in the neighborhood I grew up in. When you came down the end of the street and you hit the stop sign, the house was dead center. And no one ever went through the stop sign and hit it. But every night, like,
Yeah.
your headlights
thinking
are
the
just
same thing.
pouring into that house.
Yeah.
Like, every car that came down the street,
Yeah.
the headlights are just pouring into it.
Blackout curtains.
I've seen those too, and then you just have to put trees, like
Yeah.
all kinds of pine trees, right on it. Yeah, don't buy that house. Don't build that house for
Yeah.
starters. Like, or
Offset it.
turn it around.
Yeah.
Just turn it around. That way, it's not so bad.
That way you don't see the car coming.
It's
Yeah.
at least, yeah. Oh, honey, check the mud room.
Exactly.
It sounds like there's another car in there. Didn't hear that one coming. Must be electric. Get the robot. Go fix it.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, brutal. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it. That's why I live in a cul-de-sac.
That's right.
That's what you do.
That's it. Yeah. I could have had a bigger lot on a main drag, but I went for the smaller on the cul-de-sac. It's the only way to go.
Yeah. Even that doesn't keep you safe, though, because I do have one memory of drinking beers in high school with my buddy, and he had one of those Jeep, the Comanche. It's like the pickup
the
truck.
Yeah,
pickup,
yeah.
And I remember we were flying down the road, and I don't know what the hell he was paying attention to, but he just thought the road kept going, and we slammed into a curb and went full-on airborne into somebody's yard.
Wow.
We stopped before we hit the house, and ever since then, I was like, Jeeps are amazing, because we hit
Oh.
that curb so violently, shot up in the air, landed, He put it in reverse and backed out.
Drove
Was like,
one out
I
of
was not paying attention to that. I was like, what are you doing?
Keep going.
Yeah, Jeeps.
Pretty
Jeeps are
tough.
I've hit a curb in a Mustang. It did not keep going.
Yeah.
See, there you go. Jeeps are stronger. That's
Yeah,
what
Mustangs aren't.
Yeah, the more and more I see this, the Gladiator, the more and more I'm not really that into it.
Do you
Just
still
can't-
don't like it?
I think
I don't like it.
I just
Gosh,
can't get. I just can't get around it. It just doesn't. Even when you put the right tires and maybe some, ground, not even ground effects, but just flare
I
fenders.
can't
or
even
something,
get down
or
with
anything.
the
It's like,
four-door Jeeps.
I mean, those are when you jack them up, they're cool. I've come around on those completely, but
we were talking about it the other day, and I was like, Aaron said, I was thinking about a Jeep, but I think everybody's got one now, or it's like the
Yep.
thing to do.
Yep.
it lost
And
its
it's
it
lost
lost some
its-
of its cool points. A 2-door Jeep is still cool because they're still rare.
That's exactly
It
what it
takes a certain kind of person to drive a 2-door Jeep. It takes a soccer mom to drive a 4-door Jeep.
Well, they're kind of like, Harleys and tattoos. Like, they used to mean something. Now it's like anybody can ride a Harley and anybody can have tattoos. Like,
Yeah, but now nobody's riding Harleys, and everyone's got tattoos. Like
you know
Harleys,
anybody's riding Harleys?
you can't sell them. My dad
Well-
sold a Harley for like $3,000, and
Well, there's just so many.
yeah, but no, they're not selling.
But motorcycles are still selling.
Yeah, crotch rockets, like a speed bike, they still sell, but people don't like.
I think the
Harleys.
younger generation is not even really into it. Like, and I say like the 25,
Yeah, and that's and if they are,
It's
they
not
buy a
us.
performance bike. They don't buy Harleys. Like Harley stock has
Well,
been
my point
through the
is,
floor for a long time now.
I said Harleys. Used to see rough and tough dudes riding motorcycles. That's all.
Yeah,
Now you'll see anybody riding one. Just
Oh,
the same with
absolutely.
Jeeps. You saw a certain dude driving a Jeep. Now it's
well,
anybody
nowadays
and everyone.
the guy driving the Harley is a doctor because he's the one that can afford it.
Oh yeah, even we went to that place, Suck Bang Blow. So they've got
Whoa.
a couple Suck Bang Blows. There's one down in Florida, I think in like Daytona, and then there's another one just outside of Myrtle, in Myrtle's Inlet.
What is it?
It's a biker bar, and it's like massive parking lot that just fills up with bikers, and then inside all the girls have like the super short shorts and like they're
Yeah.
wearing bikinis and they're all smoke shows, and it's it's Suck Bang Blow. And like everybody's like taking shots and doing tequila shots and all the craziness, and it's just over the top, and it is like the rowdiest assholes you've ever seen,
Yeah.
all tatted up and bearded and screaming and hollering, and then
So
you're
like the 1%ers.
but then you get in there and you're like you look at it from the outside and you're like, oh god,
I don't know if I want to go in there.
the Hell's Angels are here.
Yeah.
And then you get inside and it's all fucking pediatricians.
Yeah.
Like, it's the craziest thing. Like they look like they're all done up,
Yeah.
but they're just in their costume. Like
Yeah. They're biker costumes.
6 days a week, they're nerds.
Yeah.
And then they go there, they do their pilgrimage to Suck Bang Blow in their leather and screaming and hollering, and the rest of the
Blowing
time they're
steam off.
yeah, the rest of the time they're doctors. But like you would be absolutely intimidated when you saw this place. You think it's a Hell's Angels reunion.
Well, it's like beards. You used to not see anybody with a beard. Now most dudes have beards. Like, if not most, a lot of dudes have beards.
it's crazy how the beard thing blew up.
But I think I see more of the younger guys with just the mustaches.
That's starting to
too.
come back
Yeah.
to the point that we're not even going to ironically be able to raise money soon.
Yeah.
You know, like the Abacus still has a huge mustache.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what's cool? This mustache. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're too young. Stop. You think it's hip? It's not. We're supposed to be making fun of this.
Went over to his house the other day. The wife wanted to try his winning drink, so I hit him up for the
That's
directions.
awesome. He had to remake it. He drove over there for a drink.
So I asked him for the directions because I remember he told us, but I did not take it in and lock
I know
it
it's by
in.
the brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So I've had a bunch of the Belle Isle moonshine. So he gave me the directions, the recipe, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go out and buy stuff. He's like, you can't just buy that peppermint patty. You have to order it.
Yeah, it's some special order
So I was
stuff.
like, what the hell, man? Of course, it's some stupid blue law, but he's like, hey, I got an extra bottle. If you want to come by, I'm off work. It was between the holidays. It's actually New Year's Eve. So I was like, dude, I'll come over. and I'd never been out to his place. He's got a sweet setup, and he's like, we can meet out at Short Pump, or if you want to see the fire trucks, you can come to the house. I totally forgot that his dad and grandfather had collected this.
Quite the collection.
Yeah, so I was like, can I bring my boys? And he was like, sure. Dude, he's got a hell of a setup over there, dude. It was awesome. My boys had a
cool.
field day. Got to climb all over these fire trucks, play with all the stuff, and then top it off, he had a couple horses out in his front yard. Like, it was totally cool.
Dude,
That's awesome.
You showed me those pictures, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like the money. That's ridiculous. And the antiques of the all those trucks.
And they just go up.
My boys
Yeah.
are like, this is like American Pickers.
Yeah,
That's
we can't
about
buy
right.
them.
But yeah, she got the he gave me the bottle. And I bought it from.
No, she's not a big drinker. She liked
She's not
it.
a big drinker. We went over. We didn't do any that night. She didn't have any that night. But this past weekend, we went over to the Stash's house and sat around the fire outside, and she made some for all the ladies, and they all loved it.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
it was a damn good drink.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and super easy.
Is it?
Yeah, you make hot chocolate and you pour a shot in.
Shut the fuck.
That's all it was.
One with that.
Yeah,
He took the Ely
but then
route.
he did like
Yeah, but-
whipped cream and marshmallows and a can in the chocolate and all
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's basically make Swiss Miss and pour a shot in.
the Ely technique.
Well, Abacus gave it full details. Like he really stretched it out as to how he made that drink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He didn't say it was Swiss Miss.
No, you don't call that part out.
I'm gonna win with Swiss Miss.
You go with the. I mean, it's a reason pet ice cream and pet eggnog and Swiss Miss hot chocolate is what it is.
True.
Dude, I'm just burping up a storm over here. I don't know what is going on. I ate
I know. I've
something
seen
last night.
I've seen tears in your eyes.
Oh, dude, I ate something last night. It was like I ate a burger, but I'd been out here all day drinking and watching football and just eating.
Oh,
some
yeah.
Hooter wings.
And then I
Yep.
ate a big old burger and a whole bucket of fries. And I mean, I went to bed feeling like bloated. I woke up feeling bloated. I'm still bloated. I think the culmination of the last 2 weeks where I've been
Yeah,
like,
on a bender.
yeah, basically,
Yeah.
my response to everything has been yes.
Yeah,
Do you want these cookies? Yes.
yeah.
You want this beer? Yes. How about some ribs? Yes. Like just everything. I finally have hit. Like I'm not saying I'm going on a diet for New Year's. I'm just saying it's time to slow down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable. I'm still feeling it.
Yeah, I kicked back in the trainer today. Started that back up. Had a 3-week hiatus from it.
Yeah, I
I
think
needed it.
I think
Working
I'm gonna
out.
do a modified dry like February or something just to.
Slow it down.
I can't while football's going on. and
It is
while-
hard.
while
Yeah.
all this COVID stuff's still going on, but I am gonna try to really rein it back in February and.
Oh, well, speaking of reining it in, let's have a deli.
Raining, yeah. Before we cut everything out.
I'm going to say yes one more time. That's what I
Man.
think I'm going to do. Just one more big old yes.
So we got, 21st Amendment Brewery.
Yes. And so they're famous for their Heller High watermelon.
Okay.
That is that's the beer that everyone knows them from. So my brother-in-law hooked me up with these Hell or High mangoes, which I'm interested to see how this goes because I'm one of the few people that doesn't really like the Hell or High watermelon.
I'm with you.
Really? A lot of people swear by that beer, and it is better on draft. I'll give them that. But
Where's
I
this
don't-
brewery located?
I don't know. I want to say
All right.
California, but I'm not.
Let me check. I was just seeing if you knew because it's got the Bay Bridge.
Yeah,
on
but it's also got the Statue of Liberty, so that doesn't really
the,
help.
coast to coast, right?
San Leonardo, California.
Yep, right there it is.
Yep, it's 4.9%.
Well, I'm excited to try.
I'm not big on mango.
Neither am I.
Oh, this is going to go over really well.
Well, it says it pairs well with shucked oysters, veggies, fruit salad, seafood, and sunny summer days.
At least it didn't say ice cream. That was the worst one I ever saw. Pairs well with ice cream. Yeah, what doesn't, asshole? All right, Heller High mango. 21st Amendment Brewing.
I can kind of smell the mango a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It smells like if you stepped in mango. Like it's got a little bit of
Ooh, I stepped in mango.
it's like foot and mango. Yeah, this is This is what your feet smell like if you live in a jungle.
Oh, that is very potent on the nose.
Wow.
Yeah. Good God.
So,
Wow.
I'm just going to say right off the bat, this tastes, without the carbonation, it tastes a lot like the
A smoothie?
the mango seltzers, the mango White Claws, all the Bud Light mango. I think that flavor is the same.
I wonder if it's the mango.
It could be.
So you're saying the mango drink tastes like other mango drinks?
Yeah.
Snozberries taste like
Snozberry.
snozberries.
I'm saying I'm getting confused.
I'm definitely going to have to give that a couple sips, though, because that first one was a mango gut punch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it changes your...
Yeah,
your-
that first one is...
the second one's a lot different.
Going from Coors Light to that is a big jump.
It was quite the jump.
Yeah, I've been drinking Coronas, which, by the way, apparently restaurants are running short on Corona. Every restaurant I've gone to for the last couple of weeks and I asked for it, they're like, we don't have them. I was like, well,
It's very
there it
funny
goes.
how at the beginning of the virus, like Corona, they went down like 30% in sales. And then you started having people who were like, screw it.
Yeah.
I'm having Corona. And they started leaning
Get
into
it, get it, get it.
Yeah.
We get it, idiot.
Apparently there's something going on with getting stuff across the border. Go figure.
I think Corona's plant had to shut down. Is actually why.
Yeah, because the only place I can find them is just in the grocery store. So all the restaurants are like, sorry, we don't have them.
No,
Well,
they had like there was an outbreak there, and they ended up having to shut down the
Well,
plant
and they
for a
took a
while.
big hit. Like, literally,
They
dummies
did-
were like, we're not buying that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For the first
Yeah.
few months, there was a backlog of Corona. Then they ended up having an outbreak, and they had to shut down the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that was about the time that everyone was back in, and it has created a bit of a backlog. But I haven't noticed that I can't find it.
So
I never want a Corona unless it's poolside or beachside. Like,
Yeah.
I in the wintertime, it doesn't even enter my mind. Even
I-
though I like them, I like the Premier. You're drinking the Premier. That's the light.
Yep.
We delied it, and it was popular.
I mean, it won the light beer challenge.
yeah, they're like 1 part per million per the FDA
Piss.
for being gluten free. That's why I
That was
Like
the old rumor.
piss.
Remember that way back
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
day? Corona's at pee in 'em, man. Don't drink that.
but they can't put the gluten free label on them, but they're like super close.
Oh, there you go.
So that's why I like them. But there's no write up on this Troy in the can. I can read what they got here on the.
Oh, I can give you the write up. I know all the tasting notes.
Do you?
Mango.
Mango.
That is a mango-y
Let's see.
beer.
It says, as the days get shorter, Lady Liberty glows on the sunset gate with her welcoming arms. A light and refreshing straw-colored beer, fruity
Irrelevant.
and sweet, brewed with real mangoes brimming from tropical floral notes. You'll feel transported to an oasis during the orange and red leaves of fall.
The whole premise of like the
That's-
the
I'm
Statue
so
of Liberty
confused.
with the Golden Gate Bridge is just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Nothing at coast to coast, I guess. Is
I
what
guess.
they're going for there.
I don't even know why they're trying to go that because it says we only distribute in 28 states and D.C.
The fuck?
Well, and it says,
Nothing adds up with this beer.
and didn't it say like it paired well with like all these like summer things? Now it's like talking about drinking during fall.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is the most conflicted. They're like great sunny days. It's good for when the days get shorter in the
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah.
What? What are you talking about?
Shucked oyster seafood and sunny summer days. They're all over the place.
Yeah,
Fuck them.
yeah.
I'm mad as
shucked
hell.
oysters are fall.
Yeah, but they say sunny days,
Yeah.
and then in the description it says really good in the fall.
Yeah. Special ingredients. Real mangoes.
You know what happened? You know how every other beer has a super long write up for the beer because they have to like give you 15 different notes.
It's like they had two different people do the write up, or
Yeah.
or did Mad Libs.
or it's like we can't. All we can say is mango about the beer, so we have to like go extra detail on the.
Yeah, create a
Yeah.
create
the,
a
it's the
scene.
market. They're trying to market it because
Normally it's like
Oh, I know you're upset, Stu.
You'll
The marketing
have,
is conflicted.
cloves and taste of lavender and
Well, no,
you
but-
know
they're trying to
Cascade hops.
yeah.
they're trying to market the hell of this because it's real simple. It's 2-row pale ale, white wheat, Magnum hops, and real mango. There's nothing else to it.
Well,
So
Does it have the health, like how many carbs and all that
yeah,
stuff
here
on
you
it?
go. I got the nutritional.
1,000.
Here's the nutritional fact sheet right here.
It's sicky sweet.
Well,
Troy, you want to go on this?
Apparently that beer is
Or do you
not
want
on there.
someone else to go?
I'll
Still-
go first.
Still
Go for it.
formulating?
I'll go first. I'm a third of the way through this. Not a big mango fan. The first sip is way over the top. As you sip more, it goes down, but it's still sicky sweet. I don't know. I don't eat enough mangoes to know if this is a mango flavor or an artificial mango flavor, but
Pretty accurate.
it's pretty saccharine sweet to me.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of this. I think if you like mango, you will love this. I mean, there's nothing else in it but mango. 4.9%, a little bit higher octane than
Yeah.
than some light beers. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
You hate it. It's a 2.
Well, 2.5 means
Right down the
Eh.
middle. Yeah.
anything above that means I might pick it out. I might buy. I would never buy this. I would never seek this out.
Yeah. Fair. A 2's fair. What
The
do you
flavor
think?
I'm not big on the flavor.
I mean, we all agree that that first sip is just nothing but mango, and I'm not a big fan of mango. It does linger a little, like the flavor of mango on the back of the top of my mouth. It doesn't quite dissipate as fast as I would like it to. And at
That's
the same
corn syrup.
yeah, and at the same time, I don't think I could drink a second one. It's that sweet.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
So,
And you like White Claws and the like.
yeah, if
Like
it's-
you like sweet things.
yeah, and I don't. This is and their marketing's all over the fucking place. So
I knew that would offend him.
It's a 2.
Oh.
Not,
It's
I mean, it's not even.
Did your brother-in-law like this? Is that why he gave it to you?
Yeah, he was like, I think you guys really like this. You guys didn't really like the Hell or High Watermelon. I think you'll like this. It's better.
Do you? I don't remember the Hell or High Watermelon.
I think I'd rather have a Hell or High Watermelon.
I think I would too.
That's
Okay,
not
but
saying something.
Would either one of you guys? Do you guys go to the grocery store and just buy mango?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Do you like just okay?
Yeah, mango's fantastic. Yeah. My wife will go and buy mango, and then we'll just cut it up and eat it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
This is interesting.
I like a good pineapple. Probably is my favorite.
I was thinking about this the other day. No one eats grapefruit anymore. Like, I used to eat grapefruit
Yep.
as a kid all the time, put a little sugar on it, and, like, eat it.
Because it's bad.
I want to get more grapefruit.
Grapefruit. You know, it's funny. That's the one leftover, like whether it's Bud Light seltzer, Corona, everything. That's the one seltzer that's just piles up in the back
People
of the
hate
fridge. Nobody drinks
grapefruit.
it.
Yeah. This thing right here is got a ton of mango. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
They say it's an IPA. Prove it.
Oh, they do?
Where?
Well, I thought Stu said it was a IPA.
No.
No, never said that. Never mind. I don't taste any hops. I don't taste anything that would identify it as any classification of beer. So it's like
Yeah.
it's almost like the world's lightest beer, and then
it just says beer brewed with mango.
bunch of mango in it. So, to your point, Troy, if you like mango, this is gonna knock it out of the park for you. I could see how this would be good. And sorry, marketers, but I think this would be good in the summer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This
Sitting
is
by the
definitely
pool.
by the pool.
By the pool, this is a 3.
Yeah.
Like a hot day, this is a 3. But that's not where we are, and that's not how this works.
No.
It's a 17 on the IBUs.
I'm going to be nice and cut it right down the middle at a 2.5. So it's a 2.5 on this. Did not do exceptionally well. That's a 2.25. That is a low score.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys gauge
I don't even
beers?
think that is a 2.25.
Do you guys gauge beers
I don't know. No, it's certainly not.
Yeah, it's lower than that.
based on
2,
how
1,
many,
3, 3.
like how
Something
many you
like
could
that.
drink? I mean, like I can't see myself drinking more than one, and if I really like something, I can see myself drinking at least 3 of them.
Yeah, this is not a 3. This. You can hand me one of these. If I was at a brewery and they had this on draft, they poured it to me, I'd be like, "Oh, that's cool," and I'd probably recommend it to people who don't like beer.
Yeah.
People who are like, "Oh, I'm not a big beer drinker. Oh, I hate hops." I'd be like, "Oh, you got to try the mango."
Yeah.
So I can see how there's value in it. It's
Yeah.
just not for me. So 2.5 for me.
Oh, there's a market for it, but it's a percentage point of a percentage point.
Yeah, it's a small market.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that, Sean. I wanted you to
Thank you,
I wanted
Sean.
you to get a
Thanks
winner.
for thinking of us and being generous.
Allow me to bring him back up a notch. My man and his wife,
Uh-oh.
they sent me a Christmas gift. You guys have seen my Christmas gift. It's right there.
I can't see it. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Ticonderogas.
I misheard you earlier. I thought you said your wife.
No.
and that's why I was like,
Oh, that's
she's
why
a
you
listener.
said she's
yeah.
a listener. No.
No, I know. Sean's wife is a listener.
Yeah.
For those who don't know,
She's a
that's-
big fan of mine, so I'm obviously a big fan of hers.
He's
I
shaking
believe-
a box of pencils. For
I believe
those that
she
don't
said
know.
that
Yes,
yeah,
good points, Steve.
you and Ely are her favorites.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thanks for telling me that to my face. But yes, they sent me a box of Ticonderoga number 2s, which I said was the greatest pencil fighting pencil, or the standard pencil fighting pencil.
Yeah.
You know, you could get your throwaways. They're no good. The Black Beauty is always going to be the hardest pencil
Yeah.
out there. It's like cheating. This is how you pencil fight.
Yeah.
This is for pencil fighting, the Ticonderoga number 2. This is a sweet pencil. And they're all pre-sharpened.
I know. It's funny she sent you those because my wife actually asked me not too long ago, but a few months after we had talked about it initially, she was like, did you ever get pencils? I was like, no, we ain't gotten around to it.
Oh, we did.
We do now.
You hear those?
Yep.
So we had our first pencil fight today, actually, before going on air.
Little tournament.
I didn't think it would go well, leading in. I can tell you right now that there is someone in the room who has technique.
Well, let's just say this: I lost. I lost first. I lost big time.
You lost first, and you had a lot of very limp-wristed hits where it was like tap, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna win this one. And then I was able to defeat you.
It took a while.
It did.
Y'all had a few. Y'all went back and forth for a while.
We did. I was able to defeat you with a devastating blow to the side, sliced right through it.
But that's what scared me is about halfway through the battle, I heard a small little crack in my own pencil while I was pulling it back. I was
In
like,
your armor.
That's
Yeah,
the
you
worst
got
thing.
chink.
You can pull it. You can do more damage to yourself if you're not careful.
Yep.
Yeah, I got lead poisoning.
And then I came over here to battle Troy because I was like, all right, for the championship, what do you got, tough guy? And as soon as he went back, it was like a flashback to 8th grade because you had the technique where he gets all up on it and he inches in all like T-Rex arms close to the body. And he gets up above and you can see that it stretched at just the moment before it'll do damage. And when he comes down, his whole body kind of shudders at it. And it's like, thud. I was like, ooh, that's a devastating blow.
That was not good.
And it didn't take long before I was ousted. So I think
you're what's the word I'm looking for? Your
technique.
your pride. You were coming in.
I was coming in hot.
Yeah,
he
you
was
were
boastful.
Yeah, I
you
just
were-
had a big victory, man. My Ticonderoga
you
was
were
strong.
Conor McGregor, and you were feeling good.
I
And
was.
that first hit, you could see it all just wash right out of your body.
Yeah, I felt like it was more like Mike Tyson,
Confidence,
and Buster
is the
Douglas.
big word I was looking for.
I was like, I'm gonna crush this nerd, and then I took that first punch in the mouth. It was like, we have a problem. This is not what I expected.
Troy's that sleeper car that's, it's a Chevette with a Corvette engine in it. He pulls up and you're like, oh, I got this.
And he
Blew you away.
destroyed me. And mine had like the big crack in it, but I still had enough to
Yeah.
take one more shot. I gave it everything
was
I
fun.
had. It didn't work out. So we got to have our first pencil fight. I'm looking forward to getting Ely in here because he talked a lot of smack.
he did.
I'd like to see him battle you.
Well, we'll have to keep it on down low because he won't listen.
No.
So
No, he'll come in and be like, "Whoa, pencils!"
Yeah, we need an
Ticonderogas.
even number. 4 championship.
Yeah, then we can have a true tournament style.
Yeah,
But I think we got to put Ely and Troy apart from each other.
I think so too.
I want to see
he
them.
might not be
You
that
never
good.
know.
You don't think Ely's good at pencil fighting? He just looks like the type. You and him both have kind of that bully look about you. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that Stu and I lost in this.
Yeah.
You and Ely both look like bullies. Like, I think you guys did some damage in 7th and 8th grade.
Ely talked a lot of trash about
Or is it the other way
chugging
around?
beer, and he could actually do that too. So he kind of does back up when he's talking.
Yeah, he
He
does
doesn't really
those-
shoot off at things he's not
Yeah.
No.
But
knowledgeable.
would it be
at or
the
good
other
at.
way around? If you're really good at pencil fighting, you're not the bully in school?
No, everyone I lost to was the asshole bullies.
I was never a bully in school.
Your pencil fighting says otherwise. I feel like maybe you had a couple bad years then.
No, just everybody did it. I mean, everyone. I told you we had that little dispenser at the cafeteria. You put a quarter in and got 2 pencils, and like we had I mean, we had a massive wrap of pencils that would just like me and my crew collected pencils. Every time you had a quarter, you got pencils. You added to the pack.
I mean, it's funny seeing the pencil graveyard over here. I mean, this takes me back. This takes me back seeing shattered pencils everywhere.
I did more of throwing them and trying to get them stick in the artificial ceiling.
Oh, dude, we used to do that all the time in earth science class. You just throw them up into the back.
Remember the ESPN commercial, the This is Sports Center, where one of the anchors is sitting at his desk on the phone and pencils come shooting up through the floor and sticking in the ceiling, and he goes downstairs. It's like
Roger Clemens.
yeah,
or something.
somebody on his at his desk flicking them up, and it's shooting through the ceiling.
Yeah, I happened to see on ESPN. I guess it was over this break that like it came up a couple times. It was the top 25 ESPN commercials for just the Sports Center.
Yep.
It was. I forgot all about half of them. They were
Those
hilarious.
were all so good.
They were great.
Yeah,
so good.
the number one was the. I think number one was the Dan Patrick and Stone Cold when he wakes him up, hits him on the back of the back. Stone Cold studying for a test, and he says, "Man, I can't get through this." And Dan's like, "You need to pick me up." And he's like, "Yeah." And he picks up the metal chair and slams it on his back. And he's like, "Can I get one more?"
Yeah, I would. Oh, so here's the sports topic because we are the number one sports podcast in Richmond. Thank you, Troy.
That's why they're here.
That's
why
why they're
listeners are here.
Yeah.
Well, all of my sports revolve around Chicago, so this fact should not be shocking.
Except for the hockey and college basketball.
That's right, Troy. That's right. Well, you got to diversify.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to diversify. You don't want to be just from one place. That's how I am.
That's right.
But I saw something the other day that's crazy because college basketball, as we know, really good teams, they have a lot of one and dones these days.
Uh-huh.
Kids come in, they play 1 year, and then they bounce on out to the pros. And so this has created a whole one and done culture. Troy, why are you staring? What's going on over there?
Uh-oh.
I just was looking at something.
Oh.
Everything's good. No, everything's good. I just was like, I thought the board was reading wrong, but it was me. Everything's good. Yeah, you're good.
Are we recording?
We're good. We're good.
You've thrown me for a loop.
Sorry,
You cannot do that like screwed up look. You look down at the board, you look at the screen that tells what's happening, and then go, oh. I was like, what? Threw me for a loop.
My bad.
One and dones.
That's right. I have a topic about that,
Yeah.
Stu. Well done. So college basketball is full of one and done. So like you get stud players who come in and then they're gone. Well, the other thing that creates though is like, sometimes you get a team that's got a handful of juniors and seniors on it.
Yeah.
And I saw something the other day
That's where Virginia won their title.
with seniors actually.
Seniors, because they don't get the studs, but they get 4 years of playing together.
They get good.
And that's where Duke used to get some studs, but they would always stay 4 years, so they'd always be the studs, and they were good. Now it's like, F you, I'm out, 1 year, done.
Me culture.
But that's what makes Krzyzewski the greatest coach ever, is he dominated in the 4 year time, and then he's been able to dominate in the one and done era. Like, the guy can do it all. That dude's amazing.
So I'm not going to give it away, but do you think I should root for this team in the team of 64?
Yeah, here's a little tidbit for you. That's actually not a bad idea.
Because
if things get even, right, the Wisconsin Badgers are old.
Relative. Yeah.
Like relative to college basketball, they are old. What are you looking at now?
I'm trying not to sneeze on Mike.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is happening now? Like he turned around and he's like checking out one of the TVs like, oh, we've got a real problem here. It's
the
on
board's
fire.
blowing up. Troy's blowing up.
I'm
Where we
messing
going?
this whole show up. I apologize.
But so the Wisconsin Badgers, now this is not going to sound old, but they have an average age of 22.6 years old in their starting lineup. That's how old.
That's pretty old as far as
That's
college, because that's about the end of your college career.
Here's the crazy thing about the Badgers.
And now your Chicago Bulls.
But here's the crazy thing about the Badgers. Most of those starters are eligible to play next year.
Oh, wow. They're
What?
like juniors.
Yeah, because they had so many like red shirts and different
transfers.
things. Yep. So most
yeah,
of them
because
are
23 seniors kind of.
It's kind of old. I'm not saying they're
Yeah, but a lot
smart, but
of
they're
them-
basketball smart.
A lot of them do the whole transfer, and then you got to sit out a year, so a lot of that goes on now. Where it used to be if you went to a college, you stayed at that college.
So Wisconsin's kind of old, right? The Badgers team is old. So if they make it to the tournament,
22 point what?
0.6.
Yep.
The Chicago Bulls, my team, average their starting lineup 21.6
Whole year.
So a whole year younger.
as a pro team with dudes who've been on the team for like 4 years.
Wow.
In the starting lineup.
Not 4, but
We have one guy on the Bulls who's 19 years old. He's the youngest player on both teams,
wow.
the Wisconsin Badgers or the Chicago Bulls.
It's got to upset you if you're like the journeyman college guy,
Yeah.
and you're like, that dude's 2 years younger than me and making $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's a skill set. Like, you're probably not.
I didn't realize how young the Bulls were, though, until
Well, the average age in the NBA is 25.8.
That's
I
still
guess
young.
That makes sense. But that's, that's old enough to know better.
The NBA is so hard to make it in because there's just so few players. Like, what's a roster? 12 men, maybe 15?
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I was shocked at that. Like, the Wisconsin Badgers are actually older than my favorite team.
So
wonder-
would you put them up against the Bulls?
The Bulls would kill them. They're pros. Badgers are a bunch
That's
of
a
nerds.
good question.
I don't know.
It's not a good question.
It says that it said the Wisconsin coach has elected to use a heavy senior starting lineup this season, going over the experience of youth. Going
Depends
with
on if they
experience of
play
youth,
two
yeah.
20-minute halves. Depends on a lot of things, really.
So I like Stu's point, though. Does that mean you should take them far in the tournament? Because they're
Well, I mean, Troy brought it up when he was talking about the other teams, and that just dawned on me. I was like, well, if they're the oldest team,
But then there's always like the Kentuckys with Calipari who has like nothing but one and done kids, and then they
yes, you got to
Man.
see if their bracket
Yeah.
lines up.
Yeah.
Well, they
So
don't have
they
a bunch of those one and dones right at the beginning that they got to play. Take them to the Sweet 16.
I'd have to look into it because it could be Wisconsin has 8 seniors and the starting lineup are all freshmen.
Well, that's starting lineups. That's starting lineup.
8 seniors
Yeah.
on the bench, and then
So it's very interesting. I don't know. Well, I guess it was interesting to me.
Yeah,
I
no,
find
that's-
it interesting. It's definitely interesting because
Hey, they're number 8 in the country right now.
yeah, which puts you in the line to win. I mean, if you're 8 in the country, you could win the tournament.
Ooh, that's
That
really
was-
because
that
that'll put
was-
them as like a 3 seed,
Yeah,
Yeah, they
2 seed,
yeah,
depending on how it breaks down.
yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the biggest test coming up is Tuesday. They play Michigan, number 10. So they're doing good.
Well, didn't I hear they're
Better
playing
be
the
before
entire
7 o'clock at night
tournament since they canceled tournament last year? This year they're going to do it all in a bubble,
in
like the
Indiana,
NBA,
Yeah, in Indiana.
the safest place in the country.
where
Indiana.
basketball was founded.
I guess that does make sense.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
But that's where Naismith invented it?
Yep, and probably
Why did I think he was from like Georgia or Alabama?
I'm pretty sure it was Indiana.
See
Goo-
here.
Google me rights, dude.
Yeah, where did Naismith invent basketball?
Pretty sure it's Indiana. I'm pretty sure that's why Indiana is
But he
so
used peach baskets. That's why I think it's Southern.
Oh, wait.
peach baskets left
I
the
understand.
state of Georgia.
I understand. That's why
Okay.
they're in the basket.
Yeah,
But I think I always equated, the peach basket with it must be either Georgia or for some reason Alabama in my head.
South Carolina sells more peaches than Georgia.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's
That's
why when
good.
you drive down 85, or is it 95?
Both.
One of them,
But 95.
One of them you drive past a water tower that's shaped like a peach in South Carolina.
Basketball was invented in Springfield College, Springfield, Massachusetts.
Neither one of us.
Naismith.
That's what I said. No, but Indiana has a huge history of basketball,
yeah,
right?
They got a huge history of basketball, but
I assumed that Naismith did.
Springfield College, birthplace of basketball, with Naismith.
That's what we said.
That- yeah, we're both right.
1891.
But
There's a Springfield in every state. That's what threw me off.
that's right.
That's what threw me off.
Yeah, because that's where the Simpsons is, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know this about Stu, but he reads with he moves his mouth when he reads. And I was just staring at him like I thought he was saying. So I was just sitting there in silence like, okay, he has a point. And his mouth just kept moving. And I was like, damn it.
Because I was questioning something I was reading, but yeah.
I didn't know you. Do you do that all the time? Does your mouth move when you read or only when you're
And
like
his finger
focused?
traces the screen.
Yeah.
So growing up, high school, and even Radford, I qualified for books on tape. Now that tells you that's dating me, but I have I can read
The
something.
fuck's a tape?
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on. Why do you qualify for books on tape? You got to reading
I had
disorder or something?
No, I had a comprehension disconnect. So I could read something to myself over and over again, but if I read it out loud, it's stuck. So like I aced every single. What do you call it?
I was right not to make fun. I just called it out. I stepped back.
Lecture classes, anything. Once I hear something, it usually sticks.
So if you went to the lecture, you were all good.
Right,
But
like,
cramming did you no good.
No, because and the problem was books on tape, textbooks, books on tape, freshman, sophomore year. It's like it takes. It's somebody could read it in 20 minutes. It's going to take me an hour to listen to this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Page 2.
Yeah, I was always, if I write it down, it's in there forever.
Yeah.
Like I can, as long as I take the time to actually write it, because I remember like I tried to cheat in high school, and so like I took a Bic pen, and like I cut the back part, you know.
Yeah, it pops a little.
So
little
I cut
plug
2
out.
slits. Yeah, and then I cut 2 slits so I could like fold it back, and then I could turn down here, and it had all of the Spanish words and their equivalent inside on a little rotating wheel, and I could pop it out and I could turn it. And that was my brilliant way, because I realized I'm not smart enough to do Spanish, which I've proven time and time again.
Yeah.
See.
Time to get the quarters. Hola, adios. So I did this like all night. I wrote it all down. I put it inside the pen. I created my slits. I was like, this is genius. And then I took the test and I was like, oh shit, I know all these answers. And I was like,
I wrote it down.
I was like, oh, I just need to write down all this stuff. So I didn't end up cheating.
Nice.
Because I ended up having it. But then I had the damn cheating pen with me all day,
Yeah.
so I felt all like guilty.
Well, don't you remember back in high school when some of the teachers would let you use one 3x5 index card?
Yeah, you could like.
And
Dude.
you're just like cramming.
I could write so much stuff on an index card. It was unbelievable. I do remember that. That was the best.
That's basically the teacher going, "Look, I want you all to pass this test. Let's just get it out of the way."
Brendan sharpening up his Ticonderoga. Sharpest
That's
point
right.
ever.
How mad were those teachers too when somebody failed one of those tests? You know they were pissed.
Oh, my teacher was pissed when I passed. I'll never forget. So like I did Spanish 2, right? And
Dos.
I'd done thank you, Troy. But Spanish 3 was going to be immersion. Like they were only going to
Yeah.
speak in Spanish. And I walked into Spanish 3 and the teacher's looking at me and she's like, Juan Valdez? Because that was my name, Juan Valdez. Because everyone got their equivalent
Yeah.
name. And I was like, well, my name's Brendan. And she's like, we don't have a Brendan. What would you
Yeah.
like your name to be? And I was like, Juan Valdez. She was like, okay, we'll call you Juan. And I was like, no, it has to be Juan Valdez. She was like, I'm not going to call you. And I was like, come on, I need like that whole mule with the
Yeah.
sacks of beans. And finally she was like, fine. Okay, so for 2 years, she had to call me Juan Valdez. And she did not like that to begin with. And then I got through Spanish 2 by the skin of my teeth. And she knew something wasn't right because I couldn't comprehend anything. But yet, it's because I learned I can cram that information and it can last for 24 hours.
Yeah, to
and then
the
it
test.
will go. I cannot comprehend. But I can answer your questions if I write it all down.
It's so funny you mentioned Juan Valdez. Next time you see my brother, ask him about Juan Valdez, because when he was in, I guess, 8th grade or so, 7th or 8th grade, and Putt-Putt was, you could fill out these cards.
Okay.
And Putt-Putt would send you discounts or free coupons for free tokens. All you had to do was turn them in, but you had to fill out a card and have it mailed back to you. He started using all the different Spanish names of everybody in his class with the same address and filled out these cards over and over again. And Juan Valdez was getting cards at the house.
That was I used to sign up for all the BMG record clubs as
Oh, yeah.
Quintaro. I don't know what that name was. I just came up with it. Like as a kid, I was like Quintaro. And so it'd be Quintaro Kennedy. And I would get all these like BMG record
Yeah.
clubs. And then if something went wrong,
Good luck.
You
You'll
gotta
never find me.
Yeah.
But later in life, we would get calls at the house all the time for Quintero, and I'd be like, it's Quintaro.
He's not here.
And he's not here. Yeah. But they would try to give him credit cards and all kinds of things. That dude had quite the history.
That guy is awesome.
But I remember Spanish 2, I went into Spanish 3, to your point about they didn't want people to fail. Like, I had passed, and I walked in, and she was like, Juan Valdez, we both know you shouldn't be here.
She didn't even say it in Spanish.
Yeah. And I was like, because she started, but as soon as I walked in, she was like, no. She's like, we both know you shouldn't be here. And I was like, no. Spanish 3, I'm going for the advanced degree.
That's a kick in the nutsack right there.
I need this.
When
And
the
she's like,
teacher calls you out.
in front of the whole class, you shouldn't be here. And then I'm like arguing with her, and she's like, we'll talk after class. And then after class, she takes me aside, and she's like, you don't stand a chance. I still to this day can't figure out how you got through Spanish 2. Like, you didn't understand anything. You don't know what you're doing. You can't be here.
Did you like pass with like a C or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Like middle of the road, like I
Yeah.
just squeaked by.
In no way, shape, or form did anything that you say or
Yeah.
said.
I ended up having to
coherent.
they ended up having to switch me over. Like, she refused to teach me.
Oh wow!
Like,
So
it
she did
became-
you a solid, really.
Yeah, she was like, do you just want the F now? Like,
Yeah.
because this isn't going to work. She's like, you can't get the advanced degree because you've done 2 years of Spanish and learned nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it's really fucked up. And then they put me in physics. I did very well in physics. But that was the end of my advanced degree from high school.
But can't you go back for advanced degrees? You can do 3 of 1 or 2 and 2, right?
Yes, and but I didn't want to go that route at that point. I'd had a little French experience, but I was like,
What was her name?
Hey,
I took 3 years of German in high school, and then I was like, I'm ready. In college, just walked right in and got my ass handed to me. I was in no way ready.
I did 3 years of Latin, and it actually just helped me out with English. But Latin was
that was
hard.
the beauty of Latin, though. Is like it started to make sense after a
a
little
little bit
while.
of biology, a little bit of English.
Yeah.
It helped out a little bit. But
It kind of points you in the right direction for certain things, but that's about all it does for you.
Yeah, if you're a doctor.
Well, it's super helpful for doctors.
Yeah.
That's why I took Latin. Yeah, I ended up having to take physics. Didn't go well for me. Juan Valdez's career ended in the 11th grade. What can you do?
who knows?
He had a good run.
He did, and he's been all over this world.
I can't imagine though.
Flubbing Spanish.
They offered after my oldest daughter's freshman year, they offered her to go into the Spanish immersion program at her high school, and every single class she would take, biology, history, physics, it'd all be taught
Wow.
in Spanish. And she was getting ready to do it, but then they couldn't accommodate. She's really into chorus. She loves chorus. And they couldn't accommodate her schedule. So she's.
I always
was
sing
like,
that in Desperado, but De Colores was a damn song.
Yeah,
Never mind.
but I can't imagine.
That's intense, but that's the best way to learn.
Yeah,
I mean,
immersion.
it really is.
Immersion is the only
I mean,
hope I have.
I
That's
took
when you-
I took a sign language class in college, and the teacher could not speak. She couldn't hear. So it was like,
Damn.
You have no choice.
we're getting it on from day one. Like,
yeah, that's kind of awesome.
she could write
though.
on the board, and and it was just straight learning.
Damn.
So what would she write on the board? Like, I'm going to say this sentence, and then she'd show you the
she
sentence?
She just start talking with her hands, and you'd be picking it up or you wouldn't be.
You're either in or you're out.
Yeah.
That's baller.
You could go to her afterwards and write down a question or something, but it was straight 100%.
That's kind of awesome.
And then she made you go every Wednesday. They did silent lunch up at Willow Lawn, and the deaf community would get together, and you just go up there, have lunch with a bunch of deaf people, and you learn a lot.
It's always. I had a buddy, and his whole family was deaf, and he's the only one who could hear.
Wow.
It was so weird going over to their house because, like, you wouldn't think about it. You know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
like, he's the only one who could hear in the whole family.
Yeah.
And so he'd be able to, like, translate in situations.
Yeah.
Like, go out and, like, have a conversation and, like, sign it back to his family and
Yeah.
everything. And that was always kind of cool to see. But, like, going to his house was so surreal because it was silent.
Yeah. No noise.
No TVs on. No radios on. No talking to each other.
Do they have a TV? I mean, not except
Yeah,
for
he
your buddy.
had
Yeah.
a TV. He had a Nintendo. It was dope.
Well, they probably had TV with closed captioning, but
yeah, but it
if
would
it
be
was
silent.
on, you wouldn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
the whole house was deadly silent, but there was like, you had two sisters walking around, a brother walking around, mom and a dad.
Everybody just cutting gassers all the time.
Yeah, just full ass house and just dead silent outside of when we were talking to Brad. I was like, it was just weird. And just
I really enjoyed it. I wish I'd taken more than one semester, but it was pretty cool. I learned a lot in my one semester, which, of course, I've all forgotten. But at the time, a buddy of mine was dating a girl that was hearing impaired, and she needed ASL. And we were in our early 20s, so we go to bars and clubs,
Yeah.
and it was like having a walkie-talkie in the club because I could sign to her across the boop, 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 like the music could be
Yeah.
bumping.
You need a
We
drink?
could be 30 feet away, and I could be signing to her, and she could be signing to me, and you're having a full-on conversation in a place you can't hear. You're, you
Yeah.
know, across the way, and I was like, this is pretty freaking cool. Like, and no one, I mean, who
Yeah.
else knows it? You know, not a lot of people know sign language, so it's like, that's
'Cause
really freaking cool.
Yeah, because it's the same thing like when you go anywhere and there's, or if I'm out and there's clients, or if I'm going to wherever and there's two people speaking a different language, I have no clue what they're saying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every time, are they talking about me?
Well, now we
You
have
know?
text messaging.
Yeah,
I could be
yeah.
like, I could text Stu and be like, Brendan's really fucking it up right now, but like,
That happens. But that
But,
is
like-
awesome, though, being
Yeah.
able to, like, holler across
yeah,
a
it's a
crowded
s-
room.
yeah, it's a secret language.
That's except for the one that stands in between you. You go, how about fuck you? You
Yeah.
talking shit about me?
Yeah.
But like, it'd be good for us. Like right now, like I could sign to you while we were podcasting, and
That's
we
true.
could have a communication.
We've got our couple signs.
Yeah.
I go like this.
Yeah.
Joy hands me a beer.
Yeah.
I go
Yeah.
like this. We're gonna start shutting down. We
Yeah.
do have some sign language.
Few.
I see. I didn't ruin it for the people. They don't know
They
what
don't
those
know.
signs
They don't-
are.
You would never know what
Secret.
beer me and we're wrapping it up.
What do those look like?
If you saw these signs, you would be so confused.
The best thing is everyone goes, okay, beer me's this.
Yeah.
Just make it like a drinking sign, and then wrap it up is probably wrap it up.
Yeah,
Okay, you guys get it. I guess I'm not as advanced.
breaking down
as
the
I
fourth
thought.
wall,
Not as advanced as I thought.
Yeah.
but it comes in handy.
It
I could-
does.
Did you guys have a CB in high school?
Have a what?
What
A CB?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm from rural Virginia.
Oh yeah, I had a CB.
Yeah.
You gotta have CBs.
Everybody did back then.
They're probably dead and gone now.
Oh, you were talking about the deaf community. I got a Uber driver who was deaf, and
I've had that a handful of times actually.
and as soon as I knew it, I immediately I went to my phone and downloaded the large text app. So it was just this complete. It's just an app, and all you do is just talking to it, and it puts it in large text, and just held it up in front of him. I talked to him. He was so excited that I actually was using, because I had no clue how to communicate to this guy, and he ended up just writing down on his. He had something on his phone, but he could real quick write on it.
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, have you
I
seen
loved
that
to learn
when you
sign
pick up
language.
an Uber, it'll tell you if this driver is hearing impaired? And I'd seen that a couple times where it's like, hey, this driver's hearing impaired, so don't.
If I was an Uber driver, I'd have it hearing impaired, so you'd leave me the hell alone.
So there was a guy. There
There
was a
you
guy
go.
one night, and he said he
Oh,
was.
I've stepped on your joke. Your story.
No.
I'm sorry.
So he said he was hearing impaired, and so I'm like, all right, I guess this dude's hearing impaired, and then we're like chatting it up in the back. And I guess the topic was so fucking interesting that he decided to jump in. And I was like, bro, you can't talk. And he's like, I don't want to talk. And that helps me stay out of it. He's like, but you guys are all right. I was like, that is brilliant, dude.
Dude, that would be. I am hearing impaired on some level, so like if I were to do it, I could just
You could legally say
I
that.
could legally say it, and then like just think of the stories you would hear if you just drove around and didn't talk to anybody every night, and people got in the back of your car
And felt
thought you
comfortable.
couldn't hear. God, you would hear some amazing stories.
Yeah.
It'd be a great blog to write, like
There was a guy a
or a
couple
podcast. Be like tales from my Uber, tales from a deaf Uber driver.
There was a guy who did something similar to that. Now he didn't pretend to be deaf, but he was from the United Arab Emirates, and he's actually like his pops is like one of the kings or a prince or something. You know, he's well to do, to say the least.
Own some oil fields.
I've seen Coming to America.
And he came, yeah, basically. But so he came over here and decided that he wanted to write a dissertation on like what Americans are really like.
Yeah,
And you get down to it, and he's like, all right, now how do I do that? He's like, you know what? I'll drive an Uber. Then I get to meet people from all different classes, and he would go to different areas and
Yeah.
drive. But then one of the things that he loved to do is every once in a while, he'd bring out his like chrome dipped Lamborghini
Oh, and pick them up.
and pick him up in that because he had just all this money. But then he also had a more basic car, and
Yeah.
he did 3 years over here
That was probably
Just-
fun.
just doing that, knowing he didn't need the money.
Yeah.
He literally just went when he wanted, and he compiled stories and things, and then this was his project, and then went on about his life. But he thought, I need to learn the language. I want to be able to speak it. What better way than immerse yourself?
Yeah.
And then I can write the dissertation on this. Boom.
So we need to pitch that to a TV company and be like, here's the idea, guys. This is what we want to do. First, we need a couple chrome dip Lambos, right?
Exactly. Which I
Yeah, a Corolla in there too. But let's get the Lambos locked down first.
Yeah, just for the shock
Yeah,
factor.
yeah.
and I just looked at it. The average chrome dip Lambo goes for $225.
There it is.
not bad.
$125K.
We can get a couple of those. We're right at 500. Look, we're getting into it, guys. We're gonna make a
We're
nice show
ramping
here.
up.
Yeah.
We're ramping up. They're gonna be like, wasn't this called Taxi Cab Confessions?
Yeah, exactly. Can you sign right here, please?
Exactly.
We're gonna make you famous.
Look, this IOU's for a car. You're going to hold on for that.
Yeah. Man,
That's I'd like to hear that guy's story. That's probably pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see what he actually came up with. When it was all said
Yeah,
and done.
they're all assholes. I knew that going in.
Turns out they're dicks everywhere.
It was fun 3 years though.
no, but we're not going Lamborghinis. We get all the cars that run on carburetors. That way, we don't have to worry about anything.
That's right.
That's right. When Boston Dynamics comes and the only solution is to drop that. What's it called? EPM?
EF.
Electronic Pulse
Mac or
EP
EMP gun.
EMP.
Electromagnetic pulse gun.
There it is.
What would be the car to drive around if you had to drive all day, every day, but you did have a little loot? I mean, I guess it'd be like a Navigator or something.
Oh,
Like you'd want something big and comfy,
BMW of some sort, though, because they just drive nice.
like a 7 Series.
they
Or-
do have an 8 Series.
Or you can get the X5, the SUV,
The
if you really
SUV.
wanted something. But they're
Have you-
just fun to drive.
Have you seen the X7? It's the third row one that just came out.
No,
That's a big boy.
I like it. I'm in. I'll pick it up.
Just
Nope,
make
I
it
won't.
happen.
I won't. It's not happening, unfortunately, for me. Anytime soon.
Nope.
Not.
I was looking over the break. I was sitting around and I was like, let me look up 4-door pickups and 4-door Jeeps and just see what they're going for these days. And I was
still too much.
like, still want
No,
real
dude.
money for them.
Yeah, they don't.
Every
go
year
down.
I look and I'm like, maybe they've come down.
You get a 2-door Jeep for $7,000. It won't go much lower than that, though.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But like I'm looking at maybe getting a new daily driver, which my daily driver hardly gets driven, but I want it to be nice, and I want it to be around the $20K. But you can't find anything for $20K.
I know a guy.
Well,
Unless-
the funny thing is they're all like, if you want to get $15,000 or less, they're all got 110,000 miles on them.
Shoot,
No,
200,000
no,
miles.
it's like closer to
Yeah.
what Troy's
Well,
saying.
well, like a 2-door Jeep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2-door Jeeps they still want. I mean, if you want a nice 2-door, Brendan was talking about the shit boxes. Like
Oh,
$5,000 will get you one that doesn't even run.
Yeah, I saw one the other day for $4,000. That's like, transmission doesn't work. And I was like,
Yeah.
dang, like how is that possible? And it sold quick.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It is wild.
Where I mean,
you think these 4-door Jeeps and 4-door trucks have flooded the market to the point where they're affordable now, but damn if they're not.
They managed to. They defy all odds.
but there's got to be
Yeah.
a tipping point.
Every year I
Couple
keep
years
saying
from-
that, but
couple years from
shit,
now?
it's been 10 years, right? I mean, how long? Those trucks, 4-door trucks have been around for a while. And 4-door Jeeps have been around for a while now.
2009.
Because Ely put me on the kick of looking at those 4-door pickup trucks.
Oh,
and just
yeah.
looking at old trucks. I mean, I've seen some great 1974, 1977 4-door F-250s. So, it's been around, the concepts there, but you get like the 92s, 97s, all that stuff that's reasonable.
They want big money, and I don't spend big money on my vehicles. Sorry. Maybe in a few more years.
What's the biggest one? The Lincoln Navigator or the Aviator? The newest one.
I don't know. I was
I have
doing
no
production work over here.
They've just, like $80,000 for an SUV.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm good. And chrome dip Lambo. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Chrome dip Lambo.
Imagine just getting anything chrome dipped. like a full vehicle. I plasti dip shit.
I'd hate chrome.
Oh.
How'd that go?
Yeah, little. I wanna take some things back. All right, this is a topic I wasn't going to get into. Let's get into it really quick because I know we're wrapping up.
They didn't know that. They didn't see the sign language.
Don't plasti dip your cars, people.
Oh, you're coming off of it.
I've been plasti dipping cars for so long.
You've
on.
been plastic dipping anything that sits still long enough.
I plasti dip everything.
Yeah.
Everything. We have picture frames hanging in this house that are plasti dipped.
You plastic dip a couch
What?
before.
Full couch.
I can't believe you haven't plastic dipped any part of this bar.
No, just the panel over there.
Yeah.
But
The
that's
electric panel cover.
no, yeah, that's true. I literally plasti dipped a leather couch
Yeah.
because it was white and beat up, and a dog had chewed up a corner, and so I duct taped the corner so it was back to looking good and everything was
Yeah.
held in, and then I plasti dipped the
leather
whole
was all-
couch black.
The leather was all cracking and everything.
Yeah, it looked the couch looked horrible, and I was like, well, we could take it out to the dump, or we could,
I didn't think plastic dip was good for flexible stuff.
dude,
It's
it
plastic.
held up beautifully.
Yeah.
Like, it honestly held up for 5
It did,
years
yeah.
beautifully. Plasti dipped a whole damn white couch, and if you pulled it off the wall, it was white leather on the back and everything else, but it looked like a black couch.
Missed a spot.
Yeah, well, I ran out of cans,
Yeah.
but I plasti dipped that
A lot
whole
of rattle
couch,
cans.
and it was amazing. But you're never getting it off.
No.
Like, I know they say that stuff peels off super easy, and you go to dipyourcar.com and you see Fonzie do it. Everyone's seen him.
Yeah.
He dips his Audis and then he peels it right off, and you're like, damn, that was awesome. And yes, it can be done, and it is awesome. You got to put like 7 coats on that thing, super thick.
It's got to have a good
do you think
gloss
he's-
coat under it.
Do you think he's spraying silicone beforehand, letting it
No,
dry?
I think the trick is if you peel it within like a couple months, it'll come right off.
Garage park it. Like,
But if you leave that bitch in the sun for 3 or 4 years, like
Baking.
like I would do, it would bake through and slowly eat through it. And then when you go to remove it, it's a nightmare.
So what's your current hours of operation on removal?
Okay, that's probably a valid question. It takes me half a day to plasti dip a car.
and you do it like in a semi-professional manner.
Yeah, I tape off everything.
And you like have a gun. You don't just rattle can it.
No, I don't rattle can it. I've got the gun. I've got all the stuff.
The thinner and all that.
I do it all.
You rattle canned it the first time.
Nope. First
thought you
time,
did.
I literally built an entire tent
Yep.
Yeah.
with walls around it, and I sat out in my yard with the big respirator on, and I actually made that plasti dip myself, where I bought cans,
Oh, that's right.
and then I dumped them in, and I thinned them, and I did it all myself, and ran it through the Wagner power sprayer, and it came out beautifully. And I was like, I'm in love. I will plasti dip everything going forward. And I plasti dipped that truck, and then a couple years later, I peeled that off. That sounds easier than it is.
Yeah.
Removed the plasti dip, then I did it another color, then I went over that, and then I did another color. I've done 3 different colors on that truck. And this past time I was like, screw this, I'm getting it painted. I'm going to peel it all off. It took 2 days of just peeling, where you're every once in a while you're getting a big chunk, but more
That's
than
just
likely,
you. You had help.
Yeah, I had your boys over here one day.
They
Dude.
thought it was a game.
I was like, who can get the biggest piece? And they were like, oh yeah, there's like a competition. I was like, you're damn right it is. Get to work, kids.
I got nothing bigger than a quarter.
Dude,
They were loving it.
I am not opposed to child labor in those circumstances. So we were peeling, but then I did 2 full days of power washing and dip dissolver to get it out of all the crevices
Yeah.
from where it'd been forever. Dude, that was a nightmare. So Stu, to your point, it takes me about half a day to plasti dip a car. It probably takes 3 solid days of real work to remove plasti dip from a car.
That is brutal.
So I've invested a day and a half in plasti dipping cars and probably 9 days in removing plasti dip from cars. It's not worth it.
No.
And this past time, like, this is it.
Yeah.
I'm never doing it again. I'll dip rims and things like that. I don't care. I still like plasti dip. But please, people, don't plasti dip your cars. Take it from me. I've done
Yeah.
it now 3 times. It's a nightmare to get off. It's not worth it.
I'm reading a quick reviews and a couple of things on plastic dip, and it definitely says
I was going to say, I guess if you-
remove a full area. Don't cover up small portions.
Yeah. Oh, because I've done that. For years, I've gone out and rattle can touched up spots.
Yeah.
And that just creates bigger problems down the road.
So you're saying even if you have a beater, don't do it.
I mean, if you're going to dip it and sell it, like if the paint's that bad that someone might go, ooh, this looks good, maybe. But I can't.
Could you just keep dipping over it?
You can.
So I guess that could be an answer.
As long as you prep that first time so well
Yeah.
that there's no bumps and no screwiness, you can always continue to dip over it, and it'll actually re-liquefy the dip when you put it on, and it'll create a new bond and actually make it thicker so you can peel it off easier. In some cases.
I still wouldn't do it.
There were times, though, that I found where I was peeling, and then all of a sudden it was blue, and then I'd peel that, and then it was black, and then I'd peel that, and then it was the color of the car.
I'd rather go
Yeah.
back. I'd rather pay Earl Shives or Mako, whatever, a few $100 and have them do it.
Oh, Mako was like, I'll give you this price to paint that car. We're not touching that. They refused to do it. They
Yeah.
said, we will not. I was like,
Damn.
cool. I'll go buy.
Yeah.
And it's $100 in dip dissolver every time you do it, too, just
Yeah.
to get past, which is a whole nother thing. So you peel off everything you can, but then when you spray the dip dissolver and you're power washing it off, that stuff peels off. Like, that stuff comes off like liquid, like water.
Yeah.
And then it stains your driveway, whatever color it was. So now you have
Yeah.
a dipped driveway, and
Ah.
that'll be there for 6 months before I wear that off.
Yeah.
It's
a nightmare.
I think you were right the very first time when you plasti dipped your truck. The very first time, I remember seeing it, and I was like, "You just doubled the value, just
Yeah.
in the way it looked.
dip it,
Dip it and sell it.
and flip it.
Yeah,
Dip it and flip it,
There
because
you go.
right in that moment, it's gorgeous,
Yeah.
but it's gonna
Yeah.
suck soon. But now they make stuff that you can spray on. It's like a ceramic coat for plasti dip.
Okay.
So you can dip it, and then you can come back and put something on that makes it so you can't even scratch it off. Makes it a little more permanent. So you have to find like a spot, and you can peel it. But I couldn't imagine how you would get that off.
That's no fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
But it looks badass.
True.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Don't
There's-
marry strippers. Don't dip your car. There you go. that's what I got for y'all.
It all comes back to
Just dip it and flip it.
the trouble of stripping.
Boom. In a nutshell. There you go. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate having you here week in and week out. Welcome to 2021. I hope it's off to at least a good start for you. And hopefully you don't have the brain fog and gut bloat that I'm dealing with coming out of a 2-week
I think we all have a little brain fog
Yeah,
right
I
now.
think we all have a little
This
bit of
is
everything
kinda-
going on.
Could be
It's
worse.
something. Reality.
Could be. Here's to a better 2021.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you guys for sticking with us. I hope this year does treat you all better. If you haven't had a chance to rate and review, please do so. You can always head over to our Facebook page, Inside the Pallet House Podcast, or you can find us on Instagram or Twitter at ITPH Podcast, or you can shoot us topics on the Gmail, Inside the Pallet House at gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. The topics are always helpful.
Always helpful.
Always helpful.
Rate and review,
Definitely.
please.
It would help,
It always helps.
but we have to rely on these people now.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
We're coming up on 6 years, and we should have way more than the numbers that we do.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
Oh, good. Troy's back.
I'm back.
There we go.
I like to see it. Well, Troy's furious with y'all.
He's going to break out his Ticonderoga and
That's
come
right.
after you.
Dude, watch out for that dude. That dude has a serious pencil.
You see me
pencil
walking up to you with a fast pace and a pencil in my hand. You better get to getting.
How'd you break your collarbone? Troy's pencil.
That's right.
He had a Ticonderoga. I should have seen it coming. So strong. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
You give a little different inflection that time. I liked that. Yeah, you said it like a
A little bit
question.
of a question mark.
Yeah. That was a really good podcast. Go up. They go up. Don't you think?